What's going on, guys? This is Akram, and today we're going to talk about how to find the right market. If you're a coach, consultant, entrepreneur, service based business, agency owner, this is a question that's been asked quite a lot of times. So I actually read $100 million offers from Alex Hermosi, and this is the part that struck with me the most because I know during our journeys of online entrepreneurship and whatnot, a lot of us come into this question where how do we choose the right market or how do we pick the right niche, right? So I'm gonna basically highlight some of the key points that I've seen from his book and that resonated with me really well that I kind of wanted to share with you, and I hope that kind of brings more perspective when you go out and choose your niche, choose your market, so on and so forth. So the whole concept of the video is basically based on how do you pick the right market. A university professor asks in his marketing class, um, if you were to have one advantage over your competitors, right, in a marketplace, what would that be? So a lot of students start going on about, oh, I want to have better product, I want to have a better customer service, I want to have a better pricing or something like that. Well, what it really actually comes down to is finding a starving crowd, right? So I just have my phone here and I'm gonna go over this thread that I posted on my Twitter and just going to read it to you. So that's the easiest way to kind of make this video for me. Um, so yeah, the most important edge you will have over your competition is a starving crowd. So think about this. If you were the only hot dog stand, you will probably sell out if there's a crowd after a football game or bar night. And we've probably experienced this. I was personally in Louisville last year and I saw this hot dog stand guy, and this guy was like, he had a line which was longer than actually trying to get into the bar for people trying to get their hot dogs, right? And contrary to popular belief, I was in that line myself. And then when I actually got my hot dog, the hot dog was probably, it was average at best. But because of that line, because of that influx of people that were just lining up to get their hot dogs, it just seemed like it was so much more valuable. There's a lot of people coming out of the bar were, super hungry or whatever. Maybe they had a few drinks, whatever that might have been. So moving on, if there's a crazy demand for your solution, you could be average at business, have a half decent offer, have no persuasion skills whatsoever, and you can still make money, right? So as long as you have a crowd that is crazy about whatever it is that you're offering, right? Means the demand is like really high for what you have to offer. And even your offer might not be the best offer out there, you're still going to sell. Maybe you won't even have to be the best salesperson that it is out there. You're still going to sell it. Why? It's just because of the fact that you're at the right place, right time, and you have a crowd of hungry people that just want what you have to offer. That's just the way things work. And this is like pretty evident with the whole pandemic, right? With the whole toilet paper shortage. It's not like toilet papers are just like something that was crazy, like, a new product or service. It was just the fact that people just wanted toilet papers, and most of the places just kind of sold out of toilet papers. Um, the power of picking the right market. Why is this important? Is because you could be a talented entrepreneur with a wide variety of skill sets, and you could be selling nothing in a specific market, right? Zero, crickets. But the same entrepreneur with the same skill sets could be making millions in a different market. So the same person in one market could be making nothing, but in a different market could be making millions. Same person, same skill sets, two completely different markets. The difference between making millions and nothing is the market. So your market does matter. How do you pick the right market? you need to find the market that is in desperate need of your abilities, right? Don't be romanticized by your audience. Oh, people love me here, that's why I'm going to do this and stuff like that. We don't care about that. Everybody cares about, how much money you're going to make as a business, right? Serve people who can pay you for what you're worth, and always choose wisely. So those are going to be the top components on why you're going to pick a specific market over others, right? It's not because you're romanticized by your audience. It's not because they like you or love you. It's just because of the fact that you have something that the market desperately needs, and the only way they can find that is by buying your solution. I want to also kind of go into creating demand, because there's no way to like kind of create demand. Demand already sort of exists in the marketplace. The only thing that you can do as an entrepreneur or as a business person is to channel that demand, to be able to sell what you have, right? So if there's no market for your offer, nothing you have to offer will work, all right? What that means, in lack of better terms, is if whatever you have, people are not willing to buy it, no matter how good what you have, it doesn't matter how good it is. That's kind of what it means. So what you kind of have to do is find, the unmet needs of individuals in the eternal markets. Now, the eternal markets are going to be health, wealth, relationships. Most likely, whatever you guys are going to pick is going to be along the lines of those three eternal markets, right? Having a great market obviously is an advantage, but it's by no means it's the end all be all solution. And you shouldn't necessarily let that hold you back, because you could be in an average market and you could absolutely crush it and still be making a lot of money. So how can you actually do that? Let's kind of dive in and let's see what actually it does take for you to be able to go into a normal market and absolutely crush it, right? Here are the 4 indicators you should be looking for when you're picking a market, right? So the first thing is pain. The second thing is purchasing power. The third thing is how easy it is to target. The fourth thing is it growing? So yeah, going on, pain. Your audience must desperately want what you are offering. It must frustrate them to not be able to solve whatever that may be. It's either being broke, coming out of a bad marriage, back pain, being overweight, whatever that it is that you're trying to solve for your audience. The pain must be so high that that they're willing to pay money for it, right? And the bigger the pain or the bigger the problem is, the more you can command for the value that you're offering to the market. In a lack of better terms, if you solve a bigger problem, your paychecks or the worth, the value that you're going to charge your audience is going to be big as well, right? So it's directly proportional to how big of a problem you solve. The amount of money that you can make in a specific market is directly proportional to how big of a problem you solve. When someone hears a solution to their pain, they will be drawn to your solution, which is to say, like, if you can articulate exactly what a person is going through in terms of their pain, in terms of their problem, then they will just buy whatever it is that you're selling them. So what it really comes down to actually really is how good you are at articulating exactly the problems of your prospect, of your ideal customer, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give you a pro tip as well. The point of good writing is for the reader to understand. The point of good persuasion is for the prospect to feel understood. So that's the key there, guys. Which is to say, like, the best persuasion actually comes from making the other person feel understood. Purchasing power. If you're selling to a broke market, they won't be able to afford your solution no matter how good it is. Make sure your audience has the money to be able to pay for the services required to make it worth your time. Now, obviously, if you're targeting somebody that's in their early 20s, just because they just graduated from college, they're not going to be able to afford your services compared to somebody that's in their 30s or 40s because they've had a career for some time and they have, some money saved up so they can probably afford your services, right? So that's also going to be a big differentiator. The third thing is easy targeting. So if you have a Grand Slam offer and you find it difficult to get in front of the right people, then you're going to have a targeting problem. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make it easier for you to find the people that you want to get in front of, right? So whether that's like finding a mailing list or going on Facebook groups and being able to find people in a specific group, or maybe there are specific channels that the people that you want to serve they follow, and you want to serve your ads or promotions to that channel or that offer, right? Or maybe it's some specific interest groups that you want to go after. So you're going to have to find, a combination of what's going to work for you specifically, but that's kind of technically how you would go about it, right? And this is just like practical information. If you want to reach rich plastic surgeons and your ads are shown to like surgery students, your offer is going to fall on deaf ears. That's just because you're not going to reach the right people. Which is not to say that you can't find rich plastic surgeons. They're easily targetable. Like you can find email addresses of those people and you can run ads to them and so on and so forth. But just make sure that to target your ideal audience is super easy, right? So that way you can serve your promo to the right audience and you can get in front of the right people. And the fourth thing is growing. So choose markets that are growing or people are joining every single year, right? Health, wealth, and relationships will always be ever growing markets because there's always people that have problems, maybe in their health, right? They're trying to get better, or they're coming out of a bad relationship, so that now they're trying to overcome that and get into a better relationship, or they're just trying to attract somebody new, or they're trying to make more money, more wealth, they're trying to become financially independent, they're trying to get into real estate, crypto, agency, SMMA, whatever that may be. There's always new people coming to the market, so it's always ever growing. The goal is to find smaller subgroups within those larger buckets that are growing, have the buying power, and are easier to target. So now you go into those markets and you find specific subgroups that you can kind of serve and that are ever growing. And yeah, it's easier to target as well. And they have like growing pains as well too, right? So for example, in the relationship space, there are more middle-aged heartbroken folks than 20-year-olds. That's just the nature of the world that we live in. Chances are middle-aged folks also have more money to afford your services compared to a 20-year-old, all right? And that's just because they have had a longer career than most 20-year-olds. That's nothing to say that they don't have the money. It's just the facts, right? So you can absolutely make a fortune in normal markets. So the three successful levers that you need to have in a normal market in terms of like order of importance is going to be a starving crowd. So find like people that are like, hungry for what it is that you have to offer, for a lack of better term. Your best offer, right? Like your no-brainer offer, as Russell Brunson calls it. And the third thing is going to be your persuasion skills. Now, most of us are not going to be, in a space where we can find a starving crowd, right? Most of us are going to fall where it's just like a normal crowd, which is like a normal sort of appetite for whatever they have, right? Normal pains and stuff like that. And that is okay. That is completely fine. As long as the normal demand is met with a no-brainer offer and a little bit extra persuasion skills, we're going to make a lot of money, right? So again, what it really comes down to, guys, when it comes to picking the right market is focus on the growing pain. So the pain and the problems in the marketplace are like ever growing, right? Can people afford your services? 3, is it easy to find and target people? 4, is the market growing or shrinking? Now, you don't want to be in a shrinking market because, let's say, in the newspaper industry, people have growing pains and problems because the newspaper business never really stops, right? People have the money, they're easy to target, but now with the digital age and the digital media, the markets become smaller. It's actually shrinking. So it meets the three criteria, but it doesn't meet the fourth. So ideally, it won't be the best specific situation for you. That's why you have to have those four specific criterias, and when you meet those four specific criterias, you gotta focus on, normal demand, a no-brainer offer, so like an extraordinary offer to say the least, and a little bit of persuasion skills. You're gonna make a lot of money. I hope you found that video informative, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.